platform mixed today with some concern about national security and others looking at it as motivating competition. You know what I'm talking about here. It's been all over the headlines, and Fox Business's Edward Lawrence gets us started.
The release of DeepSeek surprised the artificial intelligence industry. It's the Chinese version of ChatGPT, but the Chinese company claims they did it cheaper, with fewer chips and less power. President Trump called this a wake-up call for American companies. The speed at which Americans accepted this Chinese app shocked national security experts. Tech expert Brian Hughley says that he worries about what kind of information DeepSeek will spit out.
I genuinely always have a problem with America's, quick adoption to any technology, but also their adoption of any kind of unvetted, unchecked foreign technology or products.
In fact, when you ask DeepSeek about the 1989 rebellion in Tiananmen Square, it cannot tell you anything. Edward Lawrence, Fox Business.
Yeah, it's the DeepSeek conversation, and I want to expand on that now. What exactly is DeepSeek, and why is it causing stocks to slump, or why was it causing stocks to slump, and where are we? Jon Schultz is the technology expert joining us now. Jon, thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
So first of all, tell us, what is DeepSeek, and how did this whole thing get started, or how at least did it jump into the headlines like it did? I feel like this came out of nowhere, but maybe it didn't.
Well, my opinion is that, and belief is that it didn't come out of nowhere. I think organizations like OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, those organizations probably had an eye on DeepSeek for a long time. So it may have hit the general public by surprise, but I think these large organizations are a lot smarter than we give them credit for, primarily because they do a lot of stuff to protect their own trade secrets. So I don't think it was that big of a deal. What's really interesting is NVIDIA supplied the chips to DeepSeek to create their AI model. And what I just read this morning was the fact that it's believed that DeepSeek used the OpenAI ChatGPT as a model to train their model. So there's a lot of things kind of going on, and every minute something's new going on and happening. So there just needs to be a little bit of time to ferret out what is fact and what is fiction. But I do think that there are a couple of things that are going to come out of this. One is I think the American public is going to be more open to looking at privacy. I think we've taken privacy for granted over the last 15 or 20 years with technology, where we'll just put anything out there and not worry about what the repercussions will be a few years down the road. I think we've seen some of that happen with things being put out on the internet and showing up when they shouldn't be showing up. So.
Yeah, we're talking to Jon Schultz. He's a technology expert about this whole DeepSeek AI thing. So is part of the controversy that they maybe copied OpenAI's ChatGPT? And if so, are there repercussions?
Yes, there was a quote from David Sachs, who's Trump's AI and crypto czar, basically said there's evidence that DeepSeek used OpenAI's AI model to train their version. So the National Security Council is also looking into implications of using DeepSeek's models. The Navy has already banned using their model. And even over in Europe, I don't know if you know about GDPR, which is General Data Protection Regulation. The European Union has put that in there to protect the individual's privacy over in Europe, and that's a pretty strong regulation and law over there. So there's a lot of focus on how they obtained it so quickly. It takes years to assemble all this data together and create this language learning model to basically come up with answers that are meaningful and correct. So there's a lot of unanswered questions that we may or may not know in the near future.
Yeah, we only have about 20 seconds left here, but, I think it's important to point out that President Trump says China's DeepSeek should be a wake-up call for American tech companies. So I think that's important to note here. It's really about competition. You can have concerns about did they copy it, what happens next, but it's the competition factor that has some worried, right?
Yeah, I think so. But one of the things that I've always had faith in America, America has always been an innovative country. A lot of other countries imitate very well. Very few innovate. And so I have great hope that it may be a wake-up call to some of these American companies and the American public. But I have true faith that America will come out on top.
EZLocator.com is the website. Jon Schultz, technology expert. Thank you for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Have a great day.